Welcome into the video, into the channel. Hope everyone's doing well out there. So today I wanted to do a little story time, talking about what you're looking at on the screen right now. So to give you a little background, recently I've started thinking about upgrading our bedroom TV. Right now what we have in there is a 75-inch Sony X950G. That's a 2019 Sony LED TV. Great TV. I've had it for 3 or 4 years now. Really like it a lot. It was actually my game room TV for the past few years until I changed that to the C2 that you see a lot on this channel. So anyway, at the time I got the C2, I decided to move that to our bedroom. And what a great TV it is overall. But for the viewing conditions that the TV is being used for, it doesn't do it justice for what makes it so great. And what I mean by that is, it's an LED LCD TV. I would call it a Sony light cannon. That TV can get so bright, especially watching Dolby Vision and HDR content, HDR gaming. It gets really bright. But for the first time ever of any display I've ever bought, I actually find myself turning on the light sensor. And considering what makes that TV great, which is its ability to get bright, and the fact that I have to keep the light sensor on all the time when watching SDR content really takes away what makes that TV so good. And the worst part about it is, if a Dolby Vision movie plays or an HDR movie plays, that light sensor gets kicked off. So now you're getting that full blast brightness again. And so as much as I like that TV and it's a really good TV, I decided that an OLED TV would be better suited for the viewing conditions that it would be used for. So started looking around. I didn't want to make a tremendous investment in the display, because it's not a primary display. It's just a bedroom TV. You watch it late at night, fall asleep, whatever. So I started narrowing things down to, it was going to be a 65-inch. It's going to be an OLED, and I don't want to make a tremendous investment for what it's going to be used for. So I kind of narrowed things down to, these 4 options. And I'll start with the least expensive and work my way up to the most expensive. Starting at the least expensive, the 65-inch LG B2, followed by the 65-inch Samsung S95B, followed by the 65-inch LG C2, and last but not least, the 65-inch Sony A80K. And the prices, to give you perspective, are 65, at the time when I was looking, 65 B2 was $12.99, 65 S95B was $16.99 if you could find one, say at a Best Buy. 65 C2 was $16.99, and the Sony A80K at 65 was $17.99. I did not want to go further than that. I know that there's there's different technology now. There's, the LG G3 with MLA. There's QD OLED, S90C, and S95C. I didn't need to go that far with it because, again, it's only a bedroom TV. So, story time. I had a little bit of free time recently, and I decided, I'm going to run by my local Costco and see if they have any B2s, remaining from last year's model, because I really kind of want to start there. And little side note, Costco has quickly become my primary source when it comes to TV purchases. And the only reason why it's not 100% my primary source is because they don't carry typically they don't carry the top of the line model, so like the Samsung S95C and the LG G3. I know online I think I saw the G3, but in store, if you walk in the store, I have never seen a G3 in there, and definitely not an S95C. Anyway, that's a little side note. So I thought I'd run by there and check and see if they had a B2, and because Costco gives you 90 days, I thought, well, there's no risk here. I can get the B2, get it set up, see if I find it to be good enough, and if it is, that TV's $12.99. I feel like that's a solid deal for a bedroom TV. So I ran over to my local Costco, And I walk in, and I'm not sure about your local Costco. They're probably all laid out the same. But the first thing you're hit with is the TV section as soon as you walk in. And at the front of it, though, I noted that they had all their LED models up at the front. Usually they'll have OLEDs at the front. This time around in my Costco, they had LEDs up front. So I walked towards the center, and at that point I saw the LG dedicated display. And on the front side there, they had a 65-inch, which, you know, could be a C3 or maybe a C2 still. But they had a 65 C-Series and a 77 C-Series. And if you walked to the left and went around the back side, they had a 48 and a 55, which I'm almost certain were C2s. Because right below that, I saw, you know, a few boxes of the 55 C2 left, and the price for that, which was, you know, solid deal, I'd say. And right next to that, they had one 65-inch C2 left. And that's not what caught my attention. What caught my attention was the price label that was sitting right above it.
Oh my God! No way!
And when I first saw it, I really didn't believe it. I thought, this has got to be like an open box or the floor model or something. So I immediately ran, not literally ran, but I walked pretty briskly looking for a Costco employee. And as soon as I found one, I said, hey, I have a question for you. This price on this LG C2 I'm looking at here, the 65, is that like for a floor model or is it for that new one in the box? And he goes, oh yeah, that's for that new one in the box. Yeah, that's the price for that one you're looking at there. It's the last one we have, and we're just trying to move it out so we can put the 65 C3 right here. And our manager just went ahead and marked that down to go ahead and get that moved out. And I said, wow, sold. Right then and there, told him, you know, sold, I'm ready to make the purchase. But I was not in a vehicle that would allow to put a 65-inch TV in it, unfortunately. So I said, hey, I don't know if this is even permissible here, but I'm not in a vehicle to take this home right now, but I don't live all that far from here. I could probably be back within an hour. Is there any way that you could like put my name on it or whatever, and I'll make the purchase? And he was like, well, you know, we really don't typically do that. Maybe you just go ahead and purchase to be sure. And I said, okay, I'll go ahead and do that. And then last second, we continue to talk. We're talking TV technology at that point, and, you know, we're just having a good time. And he goes, hey man, I'll tell you what. He goes, if you don't have time right now to make the purchase, I'll go ahead and I'll pull this one off the display here. I'll take the price sheet down, and I'll put your name on it, and I'll go ahead and set that aside for you. And I said, are you sure? I'm not trying to get anybody in trouble here. He's like, yeah, I'll set it over here. And he said, how quick can you come back? I said, I'll probably be back in like an hour. He said, okay, cool. So I watched him. He got pen, paper. Matter of fact, he didn't even get paper. He just wrote my name on the back side of the sales sheet, the price markdown sheet, which I thought was I thought that was pretty cool. But anyway, obviously went home, got myself into a vehicle that could accommodate a TV like this, went back, made the purchase. I tell you that story, and here's the moral of the story. If you're somebody who has a Costco that's reasonably close to you, and you haven't been in it for a while, or maybe you're starting to get the itch to upgrade your TV, run out immediately and go to your local Costco and see if they have any deals on the 2022 models. Because like I mentioned, my sole purpose for going there was to just walk in and see if they had any LG B2s at 65 inches. And if they did, make a choice on whether I wanted to bring that home and try it out. When I saw the deal that they were offering for this last remaining LG C2 65, and on top of that, it wasn't even a floor model that had been sitting out for a year playing their demo material or whatever, you know, with a ton of hours on it. By the way, the box is in tremendous condition. Here, I'll get up and walk you around it. I couldn't believe it. I really had to ask him like 2 or 3 times, like, are you sure it's for that particular one right there? I mean, look at the condition of the box. There's no defects, no damage or anything. So the moral of the story here is if you're getting a little itchy to buy a new TV, run to your local Costco. The 65-inch C3 right now, I think, is still $24.99. And for the deal that I got on a 65 C2 at $11.99, you can't beat that. Super stoked, super excited for this purchase. Probably the only downside to this purchase is my wife and I had gotten used to looking at that 75-inch TV in there, and now I'm going down to a 65. Which, if you're an enthusiast, you know how difficult that can be to go down in size. But hey, for a bedroom TV, that's its only purpose, and for the deal that I got on this TV, I'm not worried in the least about going down in size. It was completely worth it. So that's all I had for you. Just wanted to do a little story time. Super excited. If you did enjoy the video, consider hitting the like button. Helps out the channel. Doesn't cost you anything. If you're new here, appreciate you watching. If you're not subscribed, now's a great time. Gonna have a lot more coming. I might even do some content on this TV. I have a C2 for my dedicated gaming display that I do a lot of content on, but I might do some content with this one as well. Why not? So if you're interested in that, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notifications so you know when I do an upload, and until the next one,